In case you're new here, I explore natural history and art while traveling in a pop-top Toyota Sienna minivan. This is the second episode in the series on the Ojai Valley in California. In the last episode, we explored Los Padres National Forest, which surrounds the valley and defines its watershed. Today, we're moving down into the valley itself to explore the Valley View Preserve along the Fox Canyon and Luci Trail Loop. Good morning. This preserve is managed by the Ojai Valley Land Conservancy, a nonprofit dedicated to protecting open space, wildlife habitat, and watersheds in the Ojai Valley. They manage more than 2,600 acres across several preserves and maintain a network of public trails that connect the valley floor to the surrounding landscape. Their work focuses not just on access, but on long-term ecological health, restoring native habitats and supporting biodiversity across the region. This area offers a closer look at how landscapes in Southern California change through the seasons and how they recover after disturbance. In 2017, this landscape was heavily impacted by the Thomas Fire. At the time, it was the largest wildfire in California history, burning more than 280,000 acres across Ventura and Santa Barbara counties. It was driven by strong Santa Ana winds up to 70 miles an hour and extremely dry conditions, and spread rapidly across both the remote backcountry and populated areas. But fire is also a natural part of this ecosystem. After grabbing some coffee, I headed to the trailhead near the top of Signal Street in Ojai, starting along Shelf Road and continuing to the Fox Canyon Luci Trail Loop. From here, the trail continues upward along Fox Canyon before connecting to the Luci Trail. It's important to stay aware while hiking here. Rattlesnakes are part of this environment, especially in warmer months. This is a garter snake, which is non-venomous, and its slender head helps distinguish it from the triangular head of a rattlesnake. This is a California king snake, also non-venomous, and notable for preying on rattlesnakes. From here, the trail climbs, opening up views of the valley below and the surrounding foothills. While looking for a place to paint, I'm taking in the views of the valley and the wildflowers. I found my spot. These protected spaces offer a way to observe how landscapes change over time and how they recover. Even without visible burn scars, this landscape reflects cycles of disturbance and renewal. By spring, these hillsides begin to change. Wildflowers emerge across the slopes, taking advantage of open space, sunlight, and newly available nutrients. Many of the plants in Southern California's chaparral are adapted to fire. Some resprout from underground structures, while others rely on seed banks in the soil, triggered by heat or chemical signals from smoke. What we're seeing here today is part of that process. All the plants we're going to talk about in this series are native locally, unless I let you know otherwise. And as a reminder, do not eat or utilize plants unless you have confidently identified the species, harvested according to relevant laws and permissions, and prepared them according to the proper protocols, which can be quite tricky. This is a bush sunflower, Encelia californica. It's well adapted to dry conditions with a waxy leaf coating that reduces water loss and a deep root system that helps stabilize soil. Because of its resilience, it's often used in habitat restoration projects. Traditionally, it was used by First Nations people for toothache, body aches, and wound care. This is a southern alligator lizard. Their bites can be strong and painful. They can drop their tails to escape predators and are opportunistic feeders, eating insects and small animals. This landscape is part of the chaparral ecosystem, a drought-adapted shrubland common throughout much of California. It's defined by hot, dry summers and mild, wet winters, and is dominated by dense, woody shrubs with tough, leathery leaves. Chaparral ecosystems depend on periodic fire for regeneration, but increased fire frequency, often driven by human activity, can disrupt this balance and favor invasive species. This yellow flower is a non-native mustard. It spreads aggressively, outcompetes native plants, and increases wildfire risk by creating dense, dry fuel. Managing invasive species like this is an important part of restoration work in the region. There are several species of poppies in this area, and they can hybridize, making it difficult to identify exactly which one it is. Coastal forms of the California poppy often show a two-toned appearance with darker orange in the middle and lighter yellow edges, while inland forms are more uniformly orange. In Ojai, we also see the tufted poppy or foothill poppy. It's smaller, bright yellow, and one key to distinguish it from the California poppy is that it has no raised collar or torus directly beneath the petals. California poppies have been used traditionally for food and medicine and contain some mild sedative compounds. Poison oak is common in this area. It contains an oil which can cause severe skin irritation, although deer and rabbits can eat it. It is super variable in appearance, with little leaves when it grows in the sun and big leaves when it grows in the shade. And since it's deciduous, it may look like a bunch of sticks, but you can still get poison oak rash from it. The oil can remain active on surfaces, like pets or deer, for years, so avoiding contact is important. Poison oak typically grows in clusters of 3 leaflets per stem. Hence the saying, "Leaves of 3, let it be." The western tiger swallowtail is a large, fast-flying butterfly commonly found near water. Its caterpillars feed on trees like willow and sycamore, and use mimicry and defensive structures to deter predators. Larvae look like bird droppings for protection and mature into a green caterpillar with eye spots before turning into a chrysalis. While adults use speedy maneuvering, when caterpillars are threatened, they extend a foul-smelling orange fork-shaped appendage from behind their head, resembling a snake's tongue to scare away predators. This is California buckwheat, or Eriogonum fasciculatum. There are over 104 species of Eriogonum in California. They don't resemble true cultivated buckwheat at all, and are a different genus. Eriogonum fasciculatum is one of the most important plants in this ecosystem. It is a nectar-rich source for over 400 native insects, including pollinators, especially later in the season when other plants have gone dormant. It's considered the most important native honey-producing plant in California. Blue larkspur produces striking blue-purple flowers that attract pollinators, but the plant is highly toxic. It's also adapted to fire, often returning after disturbance. Sticky monkeyflower attracts hummingbirds and pollinators, and its resin-coated leaves help reduce water loss and deter herbivory. It also serves as a host plant for several butterfly species, including the variable checker spot. This is wavy leaf soap plant. The bulb contains natural compounds which create a soap-like lather when mixed with water. Historically, it's been used for cleaning as well as for food. Ojai bushmallow is a regional endemic that often appears after fire. It plays an important role in early-stage habitat recovery in chaparral ecosystems. Holly-leaf cherry supports wildlife and was an important traditional food source. Its seeds were processed into a meal known as islay, though the raw pits are toxic. The fruit was also eaten, but they are mainly pit, without much fruit flesh. Early settlers in Southern California used the ripe fruit to make jams, syrups, and a fermented alcoholic beverage. California is home to more than 1,600 native bee species, making it one of the most biodiverse regions for bees in the world. Many of the plants here depend on bees for reproduction. If you're enjoying this video, please consider liking and subscribing, as I hope we can grow this channel to help people appreciate and hopefully protect our public lands and open spaces for all. Purple sage is a dominant shrub in California chaparral, supporting pollinators and stabilizing dry slopes. It can also create bare zones around itself by releasing compounds that inhibit nearby plant growth. This is common deerweed, which is a fire-following plant that helps restore soil after disturbance. It's important for soil because it contributes usable nitrogen to the ecosystem. Yes, you guessed it, this plant is in the pea family. Like other legumes, it forms a symbiotic relationship with bacteria in its root nodules that can fix nitrogen. Why is nitrogen important? Among other things, plants require nitrogen to synthesize chlorophyll. Although the Earth's atmosphere is about 98% nitrogen, it exists as a stable gas with a strong triple bond that plants cannot break. Ammonia, like in animal pee, poop, or blood, is another way that nitrogen can get into the soil as one of the nitrogen forms that plants can absorb. Most plants rely on nitrogen in the soil, but legumes have bacteria living in root nodules that can convert nitrogen into a form that the plants can use. Legumes help other non-nitrogen fixing plants by leaving significant residue of nitrogen in the soil only after they die and decay. Here's the common side-blotched lizard. It has 3 different colored male types that are determined by testosterone levels that all have different mating strategies. If you want to learn more about that, you can watch the Geology Tour Road episode of the Joshua Tree series. Chia is a small annual sage whose seeds were an important traditional food source. When moistened, they form a gel that was also used for practical purposes such as eye care. This is caterpillar scorpionweed, which is a type of Phacelia. It supports a wide range of pollinators and often appears in disturbed soils. This landscape is still in transition. Fire, climate, and seasonal change all play a role in shaping what we see here. The plants and animals present today reflect both disturbance and recovery. All done. In the next episode, we'll continue exploring the Ojai Valley. See you next time.